Welcome to Olympian Water Testing, giving you the best in water analysis. Today we're looking at wastewater digest, where a mercury spill at a New York plant was cleaned. Now what happened here, a mercury spill was found on the floor of Oswego, New York's West Side water treatment plant, and it has been cleaned, as we can see this individual in the hazmat suit here. So what happened? A half cup of mercury spill was found on the basement floor of Oswego, New York's West Side water treatment plant, has been cleaned up. The spill was discovered by maintenance workers during a routine inspection of the area, reported at NY 360, and the mercury-filled meters are 2 decades old and out of commission. The meters were leaned up against the basement wall, and one or both leaked. Maybe it was both of them, judging from the amount here. Each of the meters contain up to 12 pounds of mercury, according to the NY 360, and both meters were removed along the spill. The plan is to replace those, said the Oswego Fire Department Chief Randall Griffin. The meters are fine and they're safe because the mercury is sealed. But it's a matter of, obviously, we don't want this to happen again. The spill was cleaned using a handheld suction device and a powder that, when mixed with mercury, hardens it into a solid. Then they used the water to rinse everything, and those cleaning off was contained and pumped off into a containment vessel, which will be tested by an outside environmental company, reported NY 360. Contaminated hazmat suits will be disposed of accordingly. Now, the sulfide mercury was put into a double container and will be handled by the environmental testing firm. The leaking meters were wrapped up and then taken out by the hazmat team, and what fell out of them was cleaned up as well. And we can see that kind of illustrated here in this picture where they're handling the mercury spill. And that might not sound like a lot, a half cup of mercury, but just think about that. With all the industrial activity that goes on, with everything that happens, even a small amount of mercury can cause that level of containment. So it's something to take note of. It doesn't look like a lot. A half a cup of mercury doesn't seem like a big emergency, nor was this really a big emergency. But at the same time, we're going to take the proper steps to make sure we're not exposing people and we're not spreading the contamination to other places, Griffin said. So it's worth the extra effort and time to make sure we're not unnecessarily exposing people to something that could harm them long term. And as we know, mercury gets into the water and it gets into the plankton. It can harm fish, it can harm aquatic life, and also mercury can get into several places and then become vapors and really affect people's health. So with just a half cup of mercury, think about that. That's not a lot. And with everything going on in the world, industrial manufacturing, all that stuff, with mercury, it's something to take note of. So you can see the small amount, what the impact it can have, especially with what they had to do to clean it up. So it's always a good idea to periodically test your water for any level of mercury.